start. I remember losing my voice over it back in Barcelona. 1 minute, I think it was like 52 seconds, Tech scored that goal. And will we see an early start here? It's MSDOSSARY in the way, and nearly early on there. EISGOVEL kicking from right to left as well, and his dark FC Dallas strip, obviously Team Envious kit, isn't in the game. And we're playing on Xbox first. You can see the home team, obviously, MSDOSSARY. This is the cross-console final. So 1 game on Xbox, Richard, 1 game on PlayStation. How important is it to start this well?
Yeah, MSDOSSARY has to start this game strong. On his home console as well, I believe away goals will take part. So if EISGOVEL does win on this, they will pick up almost an extra goal, very similar to like a Champions League format. Most of the time you see the person on his preferred console lose the tie. I'm going back to Madrid last year. Principe beat Gorilla on his away console.
As I've said, this is the game that everybody wants to be involved in, Richard. It's got all the prize money, you know, it's got all the status. You know, if you win this, you can put it in your Twitter bio, you can put it on your essential FIFA CV. You can go, you know, if you do move on from your organisation, or, you know, if you want to appeal to more clubs in the future as well, you can obviously show that it's on your record. And people remember these kind of finals. Chance MSDOSSARY early on! It's early though, it's early, but an early start is always important right now.
Heel-to-heel flick into the low driven from R9. There's a reason he's in every single team, that 96. Ronaldo up top, because he does the business on the big stage. MSDOSSARY breaking the deadlock 10 minutes into this final.
And it's first blood to the Saudi Arabian here. I'm sure he's got maybe not many people here in Manchester supporting him, but online, I tell you now, this man is loved. Tuboy said it on Twitter, they love this man. And why wouldn't they? Obviously the Royal as well, another really strong Xbox player there. Obviously he can't be competing at this level right now. However, I'm sure he'll be supporting his teammate from Team Falcon right now.
Very poignant as well that both of these players have scored 70 goals up to this point. You couldn't write it. You could not write a better final. And in the first 15 minutes here, MSDOSSARY looks to be on top. But let's not forget, he is on his preferred console, the Xbox One.
And here he comes again now. MSDOSSARY, cheeky little back heel there. Messi in a very unfamiliar position there, just to recycle the ball. And as you said, we've seen it a number of times. I'm thinking back to last year, you know, the competitive scene where Principe and Gorilla went at it, and Principe, I believe, even got a better result on his away console, you know, potentially there. Is that a factor? Don't get me wrong, you have to start playing well on your own console, but essentially it's the same thing. You haven't got the icon excuse anymore, or the legend, obviously it was called last year. All you've got is a controller. All you have got is a controller excuse right now.
I guarantee both of these players will have played a little bit on their away console as well. EISGOVEL probably sparring with his Team Envious teammates at Gfinity. MSDOSSARY sparring with the teammates from Falcon.
Back to goal, MSDOSSARY.
Shouldn't have passed that.
Just finesse it. We've seen it so many times with that Henry. He can cut inside, he can finish it now, but oh, here we go. Could be worse for him. David De Gea. Wow, what a save.
What a save from David De Gea. Front post flick.
Anyone there? Oh, that was defended there, but you always look to your keeper, Richard. You've said it so many times. In big finals, you need big performances from certain players. You look at them and say, go and give me a big performance. David De Gea, yes, he gets a lot of criticism, but when he needs to, he steps up and pulls out the big ones.
You need your goalkeepers clutch up in the final, and no better man than that team in the year, David De Gea, to be the one in between the sticks when called upon.
This is the first leg. MSDOSSARY in the white. He is 1-0 up at this moment in time. Can the Kingfisher, EISGOVEL from Germany, bounce back? He will defend that one very well. He just seems a little bit slow to attack right now. Is it just the high press that maybe DOSSARY is offering right now?
Well, we spoke to a lot of people about how MSDOSSARY has been so dominant in this tournament. He said it almost feels like you've got 5 players attacking you at one point. Just look how he surrounds him, almost Pep Guardiola-esque in the way that he presses the ball in numbers. If you lose it, win it back within 3 seconds.
And if you can't, obviously, regroup, rebuild that team. And he's a man that has been waiting to get back on the big stage. I've said it a number of times because it is true. He won Vancouver last year. The rest of the world region went a little bit quiet, you could say there. ESWC was a warm-up for him. Finished 3rd place there, and now he's got his playoff ticket and he's in a big final. And I would say currently it's all going to plan, but I'll be very, very surprised if it's a 1-0 game.
Yeah, MSDOSSARY's always been there. It's just being from Saudi Arabia, sometimes not eligible to compete in all the competitions. So when he does get an opportunity like this to compete at the highest level, he's going to take it with both hands. He's going to seize the opportunity.
You know, I was looking at that, 128 players before we came into this event here in Manchester, looking at who could be a favourite, who could, come out of the woodwork. Obviously, depending on how you feel, the preparation to the event, how you warm up, certain players, crashed out of the tournament, the Unilad Shells, people may have thought he would go all the way. He crashed out. Marlott from Stuttgart. Vitality Brian, a number of names there. Oh, wow. Massive save to Haya on the rebound again. A massive save. Just pick up that ball and relax. Please, just relax.
Scramble in the box for MSDOSSARY. How has that not gone in? Switch of play from that man DOSSARY now, trying to just regain his composure, keep it down, because you saw at the end of the console final how animated he was. He's got to bring those levels down back now and recompose.
I know we said we don't see much reaction from Nicholas in this tournament, but EISGOVEL's up there as well. He could be 2-0 down. No, wow! You can see he faked to go one way, went on that right foot, and unfortunately it's got a little bit worse for EISGOVEL right now.
The classic low-driven shot from that man CR7 into the back of the net. De Gea helpless in the goal. 99, Team of the Year, Cristiano Ronaldo. What a player he is. If you're wondering, how do the players get them? At these events, it is unlocked accounts, so pretty much every single player is available. It's like a child in a candy shop. You choose whoever you want. Everybody is there.
And both of these players, they won their console finals. Yes, you could say you're an Xbox and a PlayStation champion here in Manchester, but that's not always enough, Richard. You don't get a trophy for that. Yes, you get a status for it. They both want to be lifting that trophy. I'm sure every single player that came here would have set their sights on that right now.
Nobody remembers second place. They only remember the winner.
A goal before half-time could be big. Touch inside, nearly an acrobatic effort from EISGOVEL. And just relax, MSDOSSARY. Send yourself to half-time at a 2-0 lead.
You can see how even this game is. Three shots on top of the world, that's only one way to put it. 70 goals he scored in this tournament. Make that 72 right now, because he's 2-0 up in this final. Only letting 38. Let's get straight back into this game, where we picked it up. 2-0 the score at half-time. This is on his preferred console, on the Xbox One, so he has to make the most of that while we are playing. If you are just joining, this is the first time. The second leg will be on EISGOVEL's preferred console of the PlayStation 4.
And here's MSDOSSARY in that white strip from right to left in this half. And EISGOVEL in an interesting FC Dallas gear, obviously represents Team Envy. However, I know you said how important this first leg is, obviously on his home console. In any final, any two-legged game, your first leg is huge. Go and get yourself a few goals behind you, and just to give you that little bit more confidence.
Well, you say that, but how many times this weekend have we seen games overturned in the second leg? Almost the player analysing the information of their opponent in that first leg, and then the second leg just turning them over 4-5-0.
It's one of those, though, isn't it? Especially at this level in FIFA. EISGOVEL, we can go back maybe to his comfort, you could say. The only difference really is that controller, and it does come down to a little bit as well who's been practicing on their away console. Because, on paper, not everyone would expect to get to this stage, would they? They think maybe the playoffs is always the key focus, the quarter-final stage is the last day. And then when you find yourself in a situation like this, it's whoever has done that preparation before. And right now, EISGOVEL needs to get back on his homework book and find out how to break down this Saudi Arabian.
Yeah, in that 4-4-2 second variation, probably one of the first times EISGOVEL's ever come up against this formation as well. Pretty sure MSDOSSARY, the only person in this tournament to use it. He's got an abundance of different formations though. The 4-3-3 second variation. He can switch into a 4-1-2-1-2, as Chu said earlier on. He can play even a 4-2-3-1 if he has to see out a game. This man is creative in the formation department.
EISGOVEL now, what a year it would be. Here's a chance. Oh, that was literally a gift for him.
Dragged wide.
He's got himself a corner now, though, Richard. He's played it short. Just do not lose it here. We know how you can get counter-attacked on corners so easily this year.
He's not
recycle it. Just recycle.
He's done well to get Kante back involved.
Messi. He's waiting to get him on that left foot, of course, trying to open on a finesse. No, he won't. He'll just go back to Ramos, of all people, who's in an interesting midfield position, it feels like. One block, two, save! And you can hear the crowd here. They thought maybe there could have been someone just lurking at that back post, maybe anticipating the rebound, as you always see, especially on FUT Champions as well.
Yeah, how many times do we see a low-driven shot, usually David De Gea spilling it, and that attacker who's got that 99, 98 attacking positioning in the right place at the right time just to tap home into an empty goal. On this occasion for EISGOVEL, unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
We started this half a little bit better, the German, obviously from Stark Esports as well, represented there. Unbelievable year so far. He already got his playoff ticket from the ESL German Championships. Another method to get yourself in those playoffs. Obviously, so many tournaments all around the world. Hullet there, Ronaldo, got back inside. Game on here right now. And the first real bit of emotion I've seen from that man.
Yeah, we said during the tournament, EISGOVEL, zero emotion. If you look into his eyes, almost like a shark, just holding in. He smells blood in the water right now. Are we going to see something special from EISGOVEL on his away console?
Well, it's only one goal now adrift from making that happen. However, if we do see 2-2, MSDOSSARY, he'll be in his tactics. He'll be changing his formation once again, as we've seen him do a few times here in Manchester over the three-day event. Obviously, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, we kicked off up to round 5 of Swiss-style format on Friday. Obviously, the last 2 rounds we did play yesterday, some players went home. Obviously, half stayed in the competition. Round of 32, round of 16 came back today for the quarterfinals, and these are the 2 that we find ourselves left with. The winner from Xbox, the winner from PlayStation. Oh, we all score! Yes, we are! Ruud Gullit, of all people.
Cannot give that prime Ruud Gullit that sort of space on the edge of the box, because he will punish you. Into the top left corner, out of De Gea's reach. No low-driven shot needed on this occasion.
And not always the man you'd put your money on to be scoring in those areas. When you look for a drag back into a finish like that, you're normally looking towards your R9s, your CR7s, the big players, but Ruud Gullit, if he's not in your team, you really are asking questions.
5 minutes, 2 goals for EISGOVEL. That is how quickly a game can turn.
He's obviously gone into half-time there. Remember, he's on his away console currently. This is an Xbox leg. Offside there, and you can just see the change in this game now. Little mistakes starting to creep in for MSDOSSARY.
At this point, you've got to say advantage EISGOVEL.
Full of confidence. He was 2-0 down. If we can stay at 2-2, Richard, going into that second leg on, technically MSDOSSARY's away console, home console for EISGOVEL, whether it really has that much difference other than a controller feel. However, you will be surprised the amount of times, players that are used to playing on a certain console go away and they just slip a button. It's just the difference. Obviously, an Xbox controller a little bit bigger to hold, and you can just slip on a button, slip on an analog stick. As crazy as it sounds, those are really the finer details.
Also as well, you're playing in a cross-console final with thousands of dollars up for grabs. I imagine the hands very sweaty as well if you're playing on a foreign controller. That could be something as well that you've got to take into consideration. It's the smallest minute details, the smallest margins, which will cost you at this level.
As we know, these guys are playing on unlocked EA FUT accounts. Up to a certain date, they could build their team, so hence why you can see all the big name players in here right now. That would probably cost you millions of FIFA coins in-game there. Is he fouled? No, he's not. Carl Walker runs away with the ball there for MSDOSSARY. You have to look back and think he did throw away a 2-0 lead there. He did start well. And as crazy as it sounds, it seems to just be such a task for a number of players to hold on to a 2-0 or a 3-0 lead. It's just how you approach it, isn't it? There's only a few players that can just continue to attack and do exceptionally well.
Yeah, you've either got 2 options. You can either keep on attacking and try and extend the scoreline, or you can try and almost turtle up and do a defensive job. If you do that, you are going to get caught out of the back because chances will fall for your opponent. At a time, MSDOSSARY looking to retake the lead.
What a spectacle this is going to be then. 2-2 here on the Xbox side. Another leg to come on EISGOVEL's home console. It is back against the wall. Could he get himself in front before we go into this second game? Gullit, he goes one way. Could he go and get another ball roll into a fake shot back and just clear?
EDM alongside Vieira. Henry on the right for the low driven across the goalkeeper. And then two Ronnies, you could say, up top. R9, 96 Prime Ronaldo, and the Team of the Year, 99 Ronaldo. One thing that Spence were talking about then, where we were talking about MSDOSSARY's results, he beat EISGOVEL's teammate from Envy 10 goals to 2, Enviero. There's got to be some sort of redemption for EISGOVEL to go out and beat his teammate after Dossary embarrassed Aero 10-2 earlier on in the tournament.
And what an atmosphere we have right now for a huge game for these two. Obviously, as I've said numerous of times, they've won their Xbox side, they've won their PlayStation side, obviously in their original group. So the best player out of the 64 each side. 128 came here in Manchester on Friday, here at the Victoria Warehouse. They've been through all the strain of the group stages, you could say the Swiss style. And how difficult is it to play FIFA at that level? You're basically playing a top 100 player every single game. And as you win one, it gets harder and harder and harder.
You have to maintain your composure throughout the tournament. You have to keep switched on every single round if you do want to get to this stage. You saw Nicholas, he was 11-0. He then dropped out of the competition because it just didn't click for him in a game. He lost his composure, you could say. He was changing the way that he played. He was a lot more frantic in the final third. EISGOVEL all tournament long has kept the same way that he played, game in, game out. During the knockout stages, 8-7, 5-2, 4-3, 4-3, 5-3, the scorelines that he's won by. He knows what to do to succeed. It might be not the most glamorous of results, but he's getting the job done.
A silly free kick to give away from EISGOVEL as well, who is playing that Bayern Munich strip, obviously defending this free kick now. MSDOSSARY will step over it, someone off the training ground. Messi dummies it, plays short, that's clever! And David Ayer just pounces on that one, does everything he can to get in the way of it. Obviously 2-2 is the score right now. Away goals do not count, as we've seen throughout this whole tournament now. If it's a draw, we go to extra time overall. Imagine penalties, Richard. Extra time and penalties in a final worth so much here in Manchester.
That would be high drama. Drama to the highest degree, you could say.
And what a journey these two have had in the competition. Obviously, Jimmy, Spencer, all of them have highlighted it. What an easy goal to score. He'll be taking them all day long. We've seen so many of them. Low-driven shot across the goal. Keeper will always parry it, and if you've got a man that is anticipating at the right time, he will score that one 99 times out of 100. Messi there scores the first goal, but EISGOVEL, he was down 2-0 in that first game. He bounced back. Do not write off him. Do not write off MSDOSSARY yet. Yes, it's only a 1-goal lead. 3-2 the score right now on his away console, MSDOSSARY.
EISGOVEL's been in this position before. He was 2-0 down at half-time in the first leg. Right now, losing 1-0 inside 15 minutes, and MSDOSSARY does look the more aggressive of the two players. Maybe the little break in between has done him a world of good to recompose himself, to get back the mental side of his game that sometimes does go a little bit lacking if it doesn't go his way.
And to speak to a coach, to speak to a friend, obviously maybe there'll be a few more Germans here. There was 21 Germans on the PlayStation 4 side that qualified for Manchester, and here comes EISGOVEL now, cuts inside. Oh my,
what a block on the line from Rio Ferdinand.
What an unbelievable bit of defending from Rio Ferdinand. You could say in his home turf here in Manchester, the icon foot item, standing up strong and being counted when he needed to. You're thinking there, that was a similar goal, literally, it could have been. And this is how harsh FIFA can be at times. MSDOSSARY there wins himself a corner.
You talked about the rebound shot. You shoot from an angle where maybe you know the keeper's going to save it. You know you might not score, but you're going to get the rebound coming your way.
Back post. Oh, Sergio Ramos just done enough there to clear that 1-4 from him.
That cross so effective this year. The lofted cross into the back post. You get someone like a Rude Hullet, like a CR7 to leap up at the back post like a salmon.
You know the stats that these guys do contain as well. That 99 Team of the Year Ronaldo, nearly he got a chance to by the cherry.
What a save.
Really showing his worth, the 97 Team of the Year keeper. There's always question marks over him sometimes, but when he is called upon, he always delivers.
We were wondering what type of final we were going to get. End-to-end entertainment right here, Brandon, in Manchester.
You just get the sense as well that these guys are feeling a little bit nervous It's coming out in their play style, making it a little bit more exciting. Even, the simple 5-yard, 10-yard passes.
They're going awry.
They are, yeah, they're asking questions of these two. EISGOVEL needs a goal right now. They call him the Kingfisher. From Team Envious. Done exceptionally well this year. Both these players really starting to hit the peak in this FIFA 18 cycle.
Yeah, you talk about the cycle. Some players perform better at the beginning of the year.
Oh, MSDOSSARY! And a bit of breathing space for that man. Such an easy, such a simple through ball it looks. However, it really isn't. He picked the pass at the right time and an easy finesse to score.
Reclaims his 2-goal advantage that he did have in the first leg. MSDOSSARY slotted past the goalkeeper. De Gea inches away from saving it with his left foot. We're talking about the cycle of FIFA. Some players will play better at the beginning of the year. Some players, it takes them a little bit longer to get used to the new game, to get used to some of the nuances to the new game, and they'll start performing better February, May, whenever it may be, up to the grand final, usually in July, August time, and that's when really that you have to perform your best.
Hence why these two weren't at this stage back in Barcelona in January. Also, they weren't competing to that level in November. It took them a little bit more time to get used to the game, how they wanted to play it. Of course, a new game comes out every single September. However, people adapt differently at different times, and there's just a handful of players that are really hitting maybe their top level at the moment.
You've got to remember as well, we are playing on EISGOVEL's preferred console. In both legs, MSDOSSARY has gone 2-0 up. In the first leg, EISGOVEL brought it back and we finished 2-all.
Imagine 4-4 extra time. But as you said, it's EISGOVEL's home console on paper, you have to say, but the teams will be exactly the same. It's just the difference in controller. And this is what MSDOSSARY is needed to do. He's needed to start, pulling together a plan B, a plan C, how I can see out a game. How's my game management in the tournament? Because a number of times through these 3 days, he has been struggling.
And we saw it in that console final. Every time that he went up, Nicholas Razek was pulling him back. He had to go to extra time until DOSSARY was able to pull away from Razek in that Xbox final. 7-6, he did beat him. Right now, he's got the 2-goal cushion, but this game will not end like this. I can guarantee that.
You can just see both players on their face cams as well, fully concentrated right now. Well played, EISGOVEL just defended that one extremely well. Messi seems to be quite deep as well here. Obviously, they were both, or everyone that came to this event, 128 players, were competing for those 16 playoff tickets that will be happening on later on the year. 128 spots are there, 64 each console.
Great defending from Ruud Gullit. Fellow commentator Chris Trout said Ruud Gullit is his most desirable player in the team. He's the most impactful player, whether it's assists, goals, getting back and doing the dirty work. You saw there, great clearance from him. He is the most important player in the team.
And the amount of times you said as well, he can go forward, he can create attacks, he can score goals. We saw him score a fantastic one for EISGOVEL last game, a simple drag back into a right foot shot. He can head the ball at the back post, he's 6'3". He can jump up, he can defend.
He's got everything.
Could it be worse for him now? Just get rid of it. And half-time here, 4-2 on aggregate. Currently on MSDOSSARY's away console.
And you saw there the audience here cheering on. What classic EISGOVEL second performance? That is the question on everyone's mind here at the Manchester Victoria Warehouse.
Oh, the question is, has he made a change? If you have just joined, EISGOVEL from left to right here. Wow, what an awful place to give away possession this early on now. Chance now for MSDOSSARY early on. Keeper buries that one. And no one is there at the back post, but that's a lifeline for EISGOVEL right now.
If it had been a split second earlier, he could have actually gone in for the dink there. Could have tried living the chip life.
Straight away, EISGOVEL, that was it. Just a little bit more power in that pass. He could have even opened up on a finesse. Wow, referee, that was a bit naughty. Straight into the boot, you've got to think there, and it will be a free kick for MSDOSSARY. On his away console, remember, away goals do not count, so if
straight aggregate.
So if EISGOVEL does go and score 2 goals and we stay, no more goals being scored after that, it'll be a 4-4 extra time thriller, Richard Buckley.
Will extra time be needed to separate these two? That will be the question. Or will MSDOSSARY extend his lead and take home the Manchester Spring
Look at the
Cup?
space, look at the time. MSDOSSARY off the post. Inches centimetres from nearly putting one hand on that trophy.
Nearly putting a nail in EISGOVEL's coffin, but he's still alive and kicking his EISGOVEL, but has to do something different if he wants to get back into this game, because right now it's all that man from Saudi Arabia, MSDOSSARY.
We heard from Mo Aubameyang there at the halfway point in this one. Obviously, a man that's already got his playoff ticket and one of the best, you have to say, or maybe the best PlayStation player in Germany. Obviously, Dieter amongst that as well. The stranger, Marv, the list goes on. A chance for him. That one's blocked. EISGOVEL panic stations at this moment in time because time is running out.
It's a battle of the sky, Brandon. We said EISGOVEL's known as the Kingfisher. MSDOSSARY playing for Falcon.
Oh, there's a goal! Gonna get the ball! And maybe we can see it come back again. He did it in the first game. Now can he do it in the second game? Straight into the formation. Is this EISGOVEL? Is this him making a change right now?
Looks like it will be MSDOSSARY. Is he going to stick to his guns with the 4-4-2 second variation, or are we going to see something come out? I think he was waiting to see if his opponent made a change. Pele coming on at right mid, giving him that little bit of extra width. We've seen Pele be huge for him in this tournament, coming in off the right-hand side. Only 30 minutes left, with 2/3 of this game finished already.
However, it's a long time in FIFA, Richard. 30 in-game minutes is a very long time indeed. He's just gone for a finesse there. It's worked extremely for him. Poor defending from MSDOSSARY there, but if you give Ronaldo a sniff, he will punish you. And what an interesting last 30 minutes we got here at the FUT Champions Cup, the Spring Cup you can call it, here at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, in front of a packed crowd.
These two players not only playing for themselves as well, both representing organisations. MSDOSSARY with Falcon, EISGOVEL part of Team Envious, one of the biggest esports organisations around at the minute, coming into FIFA.
Wow, Pele there. How's he won that battle? I am sorry. That's an absolute gift for MSDOSSARY there. You've got to be asking questions of Marcelo, I believe, who was just pushed off the ball. A shake of the head from EISGOVEL. And straight into the formation change once again. MSDOSSARY, it's a winning formation he puts this one on.
Yeah, this is what he played last week at ESWC. He finished third in that tournament last week. Could say good practice for him coming in to this major Spring Cup. He's gone to the 4-3-3 second variation. Vieira's going to be the holding centre defensive midfielder. And then it's going to be Hullet and I imagine Kante at left centre mid and right centre mid, respectively. Ronaldinho coming on at right wing as well.
Don't get me wrong, I do see, the strategy of this, a high energy midfield, but he's only got one CDM in there. A number of pros will always, go for the two just because it's that extra bit of option. If Vieira goes, there's a gap in that back.
But also with the three up top at all times, it gives him the width, and also playing the 4-2-2. As EISGOVEL comes out of his shell a little bit, maybe goes attacking, ultra-attacking, there will be space out wide for MSDOSSARY to exploit. With the pace of a Pele at right wing, it will create chances for him.
Could be the difference, but 2 goals now, Richard, for EISGOVEL. Yes, he's on his home console. It's going to be a job if he can do it. He needs a goal, ideally, before the 75th minute. There's the killer ball, no! The difference of pressing Y, or triangle, sorry, on the PlayStation controller, or just pressing X. It's just that little finer detail that he hasn't done correctly there.
You also have to say, great knowledge from MSDOSSARY to bring the goalkeeper out there, to smother the ball, make sure he gets there that millisecond earlier.
Just to build those extra few seconds, as you said, to try and close down the angle, add pressure, and MSDOSSARY's in party time. Nearly, no he's not. Sergio Ramos just about somehow added a deflection on that one. He's through. Is he onside? Oh no, Ronaldo. He's had to stop it. CR7, no, just rushed. It's rushed, and it is panic stations for EISGOVEL right now. He's done exceptionally well in this tournament, but okay, maybe MSDOSSARY's panicking right now. Fake shot Ronaldo, free kick. No, what are we playing here, referee?
Referee lets it go. You've got to think MSDOSSARY, the nerves will be kicking in right now. He's given the ball away
again,
twice.
3 occasions nearly, I believe.
In the last
Ronaldo,
3 minutes.
Have a shot. No, he's rushed it. EISGOVEL is just rushing his opportunities now. Try and play one more. He has to. I know he's going to be feeling the pressure right now. But those are the chances, Richard. It was 2 or 3 occasions. He got back possession.
And he had to make the most of those chances that did fall for him, because this is the second leg. He's only got 15 minutes left, and MSDOSSARY right now controlling the ball. You would say the egg timer, the sand is ticking away for EISGOVEL. He's not going to get that many chances left. Has to win the ball back in the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if he wants to get anything out of this game.
And can MSDOSSARY get back to top flight FIFA? Winning titles again. He did it last year on FIFA 17, and he's been waiting. He said every tournament I get a little bit better. ESWC a week ago. Yes, he got third place there. May not have won the tournament, but he got better. He said every event I see myself improving, and he's just on fire right now. Ronaldo! And maybe that's the second hand on the trophy here in Manchester. The Saudi Arabian cannot be stopped.
MSDOSSARY is back on top of the FIFA World. 6-3, he currently leads. What a performance in this tournament for him. With only 10 minutes left, you have to think it's too little too late for EISGOVEL to mount a comeback.
And the list of players he's beaten in his way. Now he's beating Goal Machine. He's had to come up against Rajek before. #Harry, Kurt. He's had to push people out of his way. MSDOSSARY right now. And with this time left, surely no way back for EISGOVEL. He's got a goal. Get the ball, and let's just see what's going to happen now. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions for a comeback right now.
See MSDOSSARY pointing into the crowd.
Is he celebrating? Is he celebrating right now?
I think this game's already finished. We've seen crazier things happen in FIFA, Brandon. Let's just wait and see. This kickoff will determine the game, in my opinion. If MSDOSSARY keeps the ball for maybe 5-6 minutes in game, takes it down to that 90th minute, it's going to be game over. If EISGOVEL can win it back in the next 2 to 3 minutes, and he's going to change formation as well.
Can you imagine it? A goal before added time, then maybe pinches the equaliser. Then it's a big ask for the German right now. You heard it from Aubameyang, his first proper year in the scene. However, whether he wins or loses this one, he'll learn from it. He's won the PlayStation side of things. He should be proud. He's made a major final here in Manchester. He's done exceptionally well for his organisation and for his own country of Germany.
So close, but so far for EISGOVEL though, Brandon. He's got all the way to the final, and it looks like he's just been pipped at the post. A photo finish for MSDOSSARY. And
if you look on paper, you know, he did lose that ESL Championship against Sian. Is that something that creeps back into your mind? I've lost the final, I'm thinking about it again. On the other hand of it, MSDOSSARY, he's had that taste of winning on the big stage. He knows the game management, those kind of just little details that he's implemented into this one right now. He's on his way to console, and he's just doing exceptionally well. Surely time's running out. 2 goals now, it's over. Come on, it's over.
Yeah, you got to look back at the tournament as well. What a tournament it has been, Brandon, for MSDOSSARY. Every single person who he's matched up against, yeah, granted he's had a couple of losses along the way, but every single loss that he's had has made him stronger.
And in the Swiss-style format, both of these players, the last 4 in the console finals, they were 5 wins, 2 losses. They've all tasted a defeat at some point. MSDOSSARY, he lost against Janos, he lost against PSG Dax. However, he will be the champion here in Manchester. Added time of 2 minutes to come. The man from Saudi Arabia, he's back on top. He's back winning titles. And I'm sure he's got a lot of support behind him right now. Commiserations to EISGOVEL. Referee, are we done here? MSDOSSARY. Maybe one more attack. Something special. Conclude it. Congratulations, MSDOSSARY. 6-4 he wins here in Manchester. The champion. He's back on top, Richard Buckley.
What a performance from MSDOSSARY. He's turned up when he needed to. He wanted to taste victory again at a major FIFA event, and that's exactly what he's done. ESWC last week, he finished 3rd. He's gone 2 steps better this weekend in Manchester, and he will be lifting the Spring Cup. Congratulations.
Your champion, Falcon.
Lingers after 5.